prophets, major prophets, minor prophets, all that the prophets have spoken. Listen carefully. The Bible is one book. The Bible is not a collection of books. The Bible is a book that carries with it a progressive revelation, and it is the message of one man. The Bible doesn't have messages. The Bible has a message. The message of the Bible is the message of the Christ, because Christ is the center of the message of the Bible. Paul said, when we came, we desire to know nothing save Christ and him crucified. For the preaching of the cross to those that perish is foolishness, but unto us is the power of God. That your faith should not rest in the wisdom of man, but in the power of God. Christ, the wisdom and the power of God. In Acts chapter 5, he said, every time from house to house and in the synagogue they cease not to preach Christ. In Acts chapter 8, he said Philip went down to Samaria and preached Christ. The message of the Bible is Christ. So the Bible is a Christocentric material that carries with it a Christocentric message. Like I said yesterday, when you read the Bible and you can't find Jesus, you didn't read. Go back and read again, because the whole book is about Christ. Whether in the types or in the shadows, in the prophecies or in the promises or in the gospels or in the epistles, it is one message. Somebody shout, I hear you. So from the Old Testament, it is progressive revelation, and that revelation climaxed in the epistles. You didn't hear what I said. From Genesis to Malachi, they are progressive. That is why the Old Testament does not carry certain details, because the Old Testament was a foreshadowing of Christ. It was actually a shadow of good things to come. Hebrews chapter 10 verse 1. Put it up for me. Hebrews chapter 10 verse 1. God punished the devil. For the law having a shadow of good things to come. So the law is not the good things. The law is a shadow. So from Genesis to Malachi, what we see is a shadow. And in the shadow, there are no details. You see, when you see the shadow of a man, you can't find details. If you want details, you have to see the object. But the good thing is, whenever you see a shadow, it is an announcement that the object is close by. Who am I talking to in this building? So the Old Testament foreshadowed the coming of Christ. So now the shadow kept announcing that Christ is close by. Christ is close by. Then in Matthew, Mark, Luke and John, that Christ took up flesh and appeared as the incarnate. As the incarnate.